Hello, my name is David Chang, and today I'm going to be drawing my life. Now, a lot of you guys have been requesting this video, so I decided to go ahead and make it for you guys, so I hope you guys will enjoy. Anyways, I was born on May 25th, 1991 in Anchorage, Alaska. Now, when I tell people that I was born in Alaska, they think, oh cool, you're an Eskimo, and you had awesome dogs. No, unfortunately I was not an Eskimo and I didn't have any awesome dogs, but maybe, I was only 2 years old until we moved to Colorado. So I went to a pretty small elementary school in Colorado, and this school reminded me of an alien spaceship actually. It was a perfect circle, and you had to go around the circle in order to complete your grades. So it was 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and then you're ready for middle school. The land of scariness and mystery. Like most normal elementary schooler, I had a huge crush. And I had a huge crush on a girl named Maggie. She had brown hair, she was really nice, and she was also very tall. Like most girls in elementary school, for some odd reason, they were giants, and I was very small. And also, like most girls in elementary school, they have no clue who you are. So that was really heartbreaking. 6th grade came along, and this was a pretty tough time for me because a lot of my friends split up into going to different schools. How our school system worked was that, depending where you lived, half of us went to East Middle School and the rest went to West. Most of my good friends, unfortunately, went to West Middle School, and I was stuck at East Middle School. So I felt pretty left out. So putting aside that all my friends left and I was pretty alone, there was one moment in my life in middle school that I could really look forward to, and that was the bus ride home. And not only because you got to get home, but because of the bump that waited for you on the bus route home. And that was no ordinary bump, my friends. That was a monster bump. And right before we hit this bump, we would all scream, jump, 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 and we would just be bouncing in our seats. And if you timed it right, just right, and your booty cheek hit that bus seat at that one exact moment, that would be the ride you would never forget. Now, in 6th grade, I had another huge crush, and I gotta say, this is probably my first heartbreak that I've ever experienced. Her name was Mayu, and she was really kind. She was this little Japanese girl, and she was also very short, so that was a plus in my book. Finally, me being taller than a girl. Well, I had this crush on her, so I decided to come up with this master plan by writing this note and delivering it in her locker, and only giving her 2 choices, either answer yes or no. Well, luckily she answered yes, and that was the happiest 5 minutes of my life, because right after that, she broke up with me, saying she was not ready for a relationship. Being aside from my friends being gone in middle school, I was really happy actually. Probably the pretty super happy panda, because I made some great friends in middle school, which actually kind of lasted for a very long time. So I was really grateful actually for the split up because it gave me a chance to meet some really great friends. And then comes Michelle. Yes, a lot of you guys do know about Michelle. We'll call her Michelle for now. But yes, I did have a huge crush on her in 8th grade, so I decided to go ahead and ask her out because she was really awesome, really nice. And I asked her out, she said yes, but unfortunately she brought her friend with her. We'll call him Sasquatch. And he took up most of the FaceTime during our first date, and unfortunately she decided that the Sasquatch would be better than me, so she ended up seeing him instead of me, and she broke up with me. So after that moment, I told myself, David, you listen very close now. There will be no more girls in our life. We will live alone. We will have a dog farm. We will catch all the Pokemon in the world. Those are wise man words. So to celebrate this new David with no more girls, well, my friend just recently broke up with his girlfriend, and we'll call her Brittany, and we decided to go ahead and pay her house a little visit, and we just pretty much took a poop on her house. We did toilet paper, eggs, bleach, Sharpie, and physical dog poop. Now, we couldn't just stop there, so it was kind of like a drug once you start vandalizing, and we started doing all these other houses, and that's just a whole long story. And like all stories, it has to come to an end. Well, Detective Kirby Hudkins is the one that caught us, and he's the one that made us do community service, as well as pay off some fines. And I remember he was also talking a lot about how he was really disappointed in our sloppiness in our vandalizing work, and how he could do such a better job when he was younger. I didn't think vandalizing had to be pretty. So anyway, my friends and I, we decided to go ahead and start a little lawn mowing business to pay off some of the fines that we did. Since we're only in 8th grade, we had to start a lawn mowing business. So we started Tall Grass, and we were pretty happy with it. We thought it was pretty great, but this one house that we went to, No joke, this guy did not mow his lawn for at least 10 years or something, and it was a jungle, and it was really hard work. Luckily though, we had one great customer named Miss Rosemary, and she took really good care of us. She would pay us extra money, call us back every weekend even though the grass didn't need to be cut, give us lemonade, and after a few months of mowing the lawn, I actually bought my first iPod mini. Yes, not the iPod Touch, the iPod mini. The one where you dropped it, it wouldn't break the iPod, it would break the cement. After middle school, my friends and I, we got into high school. We were freshmen in high school, and we thought, you know what? We need to be cool since we're in high school, because high schoolers are cool. So in order to be cool, we started a band because we thought that if you were in a band, you would be pretty cool. So we made Right Turn Only. We did a few graduation shows as well as made a demo CD, and we thought we were the bee's knees. Well, I guess since we were so cool, Michelle took a liking to me again in high school. She followed me to high school, and we started going out again. This time for a little bit more real, a little more serious. And we went out for about a year or so, and you know, Michelle kept talking about the future, how much she loved me, and the family, and honeymoons, and weddings, and children, and my mind was just not there. I was not thinking about that. I was only 15 or 16 at the time, and I just wanted to leave. So I broke up with her, but unfortunately she did keep a grudge, and she would send her friends at me, and there was this one moment in time where I was eating at Einstein's Bagel, and her crazy friend comes along, a bit of a chilly day as well, and she throws this ice cup cold of water all over me. I've never hit a girl before, and I never wanted to hit a girl, but at that moment, I was about to pounce her and take her down DaBoki style. But I'm really glad I didn't, because actually later on she did apologize for what she did, and she was actually pretty cool, and we became actually pretty good friends. After that, I told myself, David, no more girls. What are you doing? Stop. So a few months later, an event happened that would change my life forever. I decided to go pee off the balcony of my house. All the bathrooms were taken up inside, and I had to pee really bad. So I was in my boxers, I didn't have a shirt on, and I just went outside to go pee, and it was really cold outside, it was snowing. And I don't know what it is about snow and peeing outside with me, but I got really sick, and I was sick for about a week. I was laying in bed and I was thinking, what could I do while I'm sick? You know, I can't work, I can't go to school right now, and I'm really bored. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try MapleStory again. And that's how I kind of got back into MapleStory again. And for you guys that don't know what MapleStory is, it's a 2D online MMORPG game, which is pretty cool, and I was playing that for a bit, and that's how I met Tammy X Chan. I was on my level 53 hunter at the time, training at Straw Training Dummies, yes, STDs, and I saw this assassin there, and I asked if she wanted me to leave because I was KSing her, kill-stealing her map, and she said no, you could stay, and pretty much we trained with each other for a pretty long time, and we exchanged phone numbers, and we were talking every night for hours, and we felt like we were in this relationship, but we didn't really want to admit it because, well, back then it was really unheard of. We didn't really know what each other looked like because Skype was not very popular back then, so video chat was kind of out of the option. And about 3 months later, after training and talking of course, she decided to come and visit me. And that was probably the best moment in my life. I was very nervous as well. Of course, my family and friends were very nervous for me, and worried indeed, thinking that she could be a 75-year-old man, a 10-year-old boy, a dog, Dateline, a police officer, all the above, but you know what? I just said, I want to meet Tammy. So she came and visited me, and 6 years later, we are still madly in love, living together in Colorado. But hold on a second, let's go ahead and back up a little bit. We're jumping a little too far forward. So after high school, it was another pretty lonely part of life for me because a lot of my friends went out of state and out of town for college. And me, I stayed back in Denver to go to college, which a lot of friends didn't. So I lost a lot of contacts with a lot of great friends of mine. I was pretty sad and I was pretty confused. I was in a pretty dark place in my life because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I started doing criminal justice for a bit. For the first few years of my college degree, I thought I wanted to be a detective. Ironic enough. But after getting rejected from the academy, I figured out that that wasn't for me. And I saw this awesome major called computer science, which I never really heard of at the time. And you programmed a lot, and you did a lot of cool things with computers, and I loved computers. So I thought this would be a pretty good choice for my life. There was one problem though with computer science, is that the required class that you had to take for all computer science majors was public speaking. And now I am deathly afraid of public speaking. So I begged the advisor to please get me out of public speaking. I'll take it online. I will write 10 papers. I just don't want to do public speaking at all. She told me, David, you have to do public speaking. It's a requirement. So after a little bit of taking public speaking, I was laying in bed one night and I was just feeling really lonely. I did have Tammy with me at the time, but I was thinking to myself, I don't have any friends. You know, Tammy's always busy, she's really studying really hard for school, and I don't really get to talk with that much people. So then I had an idea. I just wanted to talk out loud to someone. So I found YouTube, and I found you guys. And I started talking out loud, telling my feelings to you guys, and you guys really like to listen, and that really made me happy because someone was out there wanting to listen to me. And that's why I kind of use MapleStory as a gateway. You know, I don't really like to talk about the games too much because, well, my main first purpose of starting this, if you guys want to know a little secret, was just to talk with you guys. And that's how I started my YouTube also. So I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being supportive and changing my life. Thank you.